Hello everybody, this is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to this 30-minute practice where we're going to be doing some planks today. So the power of pausing, and that's pausing, and you're thinking, well, pausing in planks, that's not fun. We're going to actually hold a plank for 2 minutes. I break it down into 30-second intervals. So you have an opportunity to kind of pull back if you'd like to after 30 seconds, or you could do a minute or a minute and 30, or you can do the full 2 minutes. You can do it on your forearms, you can do it with the straight arms. Many of my classes, we've been doing this, as people that are taking the class now have been doing it with me for a while. It's a really wonderful way of challenging yourself, trusting that you can do more than you think. I think that we get into this state of there's no way I can hold my body for that length of time. But you work your way towards it, so that's why you break it down into small little chunks. So the power of pausing, not just in the plank, but in just the whole practice, in our yoga, but also in life. It's a very strong, something that we need. We don't see it as strong as for many who take lots of pauses or even naps, let's say, you consider that as a weakness. People who can keep going despite being stressed, they can just push themselves through, or you're in awe of the person who has so much going on and they seem to be handling it fine. And we put those types of people on a pedestal, and we want that to be us. So we aspire for that, but actually it's not sustainable. And as we get older, we realize that it's not. Especially now that we have so many distractions and too much into things that are immediate gratification, and I don't have to go into all that because you all pretty much know what I'm talking about. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our practice, but I want us to periodically sit back and pause. So reflect on what we've done. So we're going to actually start on our backs. And what I recommend is that you have a strap. Just have blocks handy. I'm not sure we're going to be using them. No, we're actually going to use one block, but you might need a second block. If you happen to have a second one, just keep it near you. But otherwise, we're definitely going to be using the one block. If you don't have a block, get a cushion or something, maybe a towel, rolled up towel, and then some type of a strap, okay? So let's come onto our backs to start. If you would like to stretch a little bit to get out all the cobwebs, the tension, yawn. Oh, it feels nice, doesn't it? Okay, let's rest now. We're going to get into our class. You can rest at the end. Let's place the feet flat on the ground. I want you to take your hands on your pelvis and just take a few moments to breathe. And as you breathe in, we're breathing not into the belly, but into our rib cage. So as you inhale, you'll notice that there's a slight, that the pubic bone is naturally lowers down beyond the belly button. And then as you exhale, there's a slight lifting up of the pubic bone, which is above the navel. So there's this neutral plane, and then there's this tuck and tilt. And it's just a very subtle movement. You might not even barely notice it, but I want you to take a few moments as you start to deepen your breath. Coming into Ujjayi breath, inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose or the mouth. For the first few, through the mouth, you might want to exhale through the mouth. We're going to now take those rocks a little bit deeper and a little bit more, make them bigger. So you're going to inhale your back arches, and as your lower back arches, as you exhale, the lower back pushes down. So let's do some more of these. And you can place the hands now on the thighs, right where your thigh and your pelvis meet. And these little creases of the hips, you might slide back and forth, just letting the hands straighten as you press, as you arch, pick up the tailbone, and as you arch the back, slide the hands towards the crease. So press into those thighs as you tuck your tailbone under, and as you arch the back, bring the hands slower down. So it's just this gentle sliding down on the thighs until finally, let's take a pause here and lower the tailbone down, coming to neutral. When I say neutral spine, that there's no tucking or tilting, the pubic bone and navel are in line. And take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then from here, I want us to take your strap up your right foot right at the ball mound, and take each strap in your hands. And you're going to extend your left leg on the ground. So we're going to start to create the shape of a plank. So what happens in a plank? And then you're going to draw the toes, you're going to kick your heels up, and in order to straighten that right leg, you might have to bring the leg a little bit lower. And then draw the toes slightly down towards the ground and soften the shoulders down. So when we're in a plank where that left leg is extending forward, the foot is flexed, there's a slight tucking of the tailbone. Your lower back presses towards the ground. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Nice stretch to the back of the leg. And just pick your left leg, place it next to your right, and then just take and remove the right foot from the strap, place it down. Do the other side. Place it on the ball mound of your left foot, and feel free to, if you need to bring the leg a little further down to straighten it. Otherwise, it really depends on the flexibility. Take your toes down, heel is up. Soften the shoulders down. That right foot is flexed. Take a deep breath in and gentle tuck of the tailbone. So it's that, if you had a tail, the tail would be between the legs. And that's exactly what you want. You want a little tuck, press the lower back into the ground, soften the shoulders, breathing in. And breathing out. And then bring that right foot, place it in the strap next to your left foot. Now you have both feet in the strap. They're reaching towards the ceiling. Press your lower back into the ground, draw your rib cage down, soften the shoulders, breathing in and breathing out. And then take the strap off the feet, lower the feet to the ground, extend them on the ground as if you're standing on those feet. And then I want you to bring your arms up to the ceiling as if you're squeezing a block. And actually, if you want to, take your block to the widest part of the block and then reach it back just this, and you might be able to bring it all the way to the ground with the thumbs touching down. Now, notice how the rib cage pops up. I want you to draw the rib cage down and up, hollowing out. And then inhale, lift the arms back up. And then sweep the arms back behind you, draw the rib cage down. You're in this shape of a plank, and then lift the arms up. Let's do one more time. Reach the arms back. And then pick the block back up. And then let's take the block, place it to the side. We're going to revisit it in a moment. Hug your knees into your chest. Lower the head to the ground. Take your block, place it between the narrowest part, but the longest part of it between the shins. Okay? Come to a 90-degree shape. Now, if this is too difficult, just slide the block further down towards the knees. Take the arms outside like a T, or maybe a little bit lower towards the sides. Flex the feet. Press your lower back into the ground. That slight tucking under, that posterior tilt, and then bring your knees over to the right, and actually arms out to the sides. It's a little bit easier, and then over to the left. So no swinging here. We're working the oblique muscles. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhaling back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling back to center, exhale to the right. Inhale back to center, exhale to the left. Bring the knees back to center. Take the block from between the legs, place the feet flat down. And taking a moment here to pause. I want you to feel into those legs, feel into those obliques, breathing in. And breathing out. And gently, let's roll onto your right side and ease yourself onto your hands and knees. Once on your hands and knees, we're going to do a few little sways from side to side of those hips. And as you sway, I want you to look in the opposite direction of the hip. So looking over to the right shoulder as the hip presses to the left, and go from side to side. Really getting into these side bodies. So if you've been doing a lot of sitting, which I have been, this feels so nice. I mean, sometimes I can even see, and I'm not a sitter for too long, but the type of work I do, I have to sit, not as a yoga teacher, but as a therapist, lots of sitting. And then come back to neutral. I want you to do a few little cats and cows, but the cats and cows are going to be a little different here. I want you to drop your chest between the arms. So arms are straight, lift your chest forward, arch the back. So create a valley between your spine, and then press up into your cat stretch, or doming that back. And then drop your chest down, let the chest telescope downward, squeeze the shoulder blades, and then lift back up. This should feel really good on the shoulders, a release of any tension. Lifting back up, and then coming back to neutral, curling toes under, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Let's look forward. Let's bend the knees. Take an inhale and step, or take a little leap to the front of the mat. I have a little hip issue, so I'm not leaping as far as I might have leapt. Anyway, forward bend, and then gently lift yourself up. And then sweep the arms up to the sky. Oh, does that feel nice? Exhale, hands to heart. You have to have a sense of humor as a yoga teacher, but also as a therapist, or you will go, a little bit nutty yourself. Come to the ground, play a forward bend. Let's inhale halfway. Let's exhale, forward fold, and inhale, sweep up, pushing down with the feet, lifting arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Now, standing here, we're going to not do a lot of arm work because we're going to have to hold a plank in a moment. Let's lift the right leg up to a 90-degree shape. Bring your hands to your hips. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, I want you to kick your right leg back and gently lower it down into a lunge. So move, if you have blocks near you, just move them aside. Come into your lunge and then let's keep the hands on the hips to start, and then gently lower that right knee down and then lift back up. Knee issue people, and then straighten that, both legs actually. And then bend both knees. Don't go so low if you have any knee issues. Straighten the legs. Bend the knees. One more time, bend and straighten. This time I want you to bend, reach arms up to the sky, and I want you to hinge forward. Keep maintaining a nice straight spine as if, wow, what is going on beyond my left foot? This is too much. You're finding this really difficult to hold. Just bring your hands back to your hips. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then sweep your hands back. So now they're next to your sides, palms facing towards each other. And then just bend your right knee. And then come all the way up. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Straighten those arms and legs. And then let's open the legs out, coming into warrior twos. So evening out the legs, reaching the arms out. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. And spin the palms up and reach the arms up. Straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend your left knee. And then inhale, straighten. And then bend. And then straighten. And this time as you bend, take your left forearm on your left thigh, or take your block inside your left foot, and right arm reaches to the sky. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then lower your right hand down inside your left foot, so you might use that block or on the ground, and you're going to sweep your left arm up to the sky. Take a breath in and a breath out. Revolving. Extended warrior. That's what, twisting. And then lower the hands down, step back, downward facing dog. And just take a few little bends and straightens of the feet, loosening up those hips. And then from here, bend those knees. Take a step or take a little leap. I'm going to take a step to the front of the mat. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, sweep arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. So we're going to do the other side. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift your left leg up to a 90-degree shape. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, step your left foot back until it lands, coming to a high lunge. And then from here, I want you to bend your back leg, your front leg, and then straighten both legs. Knee issue, people, you might not bend your back leg. You might decide to keep it straight and then straighten both legs. Bend and then straighten. Inhale, exhale, bend and then straighten. This time, bend the right leg, keep your back leg straight, and then I want you to lean forward as if you're trying to look over your right foot, and then maybe the arms are stretching forward in line with your ears, or bring the hands back to your hips. This is tough. Take a deep breath in. Lots of back work. And then float the arms back next to your sides. So now the fingers are pointing backwards. Do this again so you notice the difference, right? How much easier it is when the arms are next to your sides. And then bend your left knee. Sweep arms up to the sky. And then lower the hands to the ground. Step back, downward facing dog. Let's lower the knees to the ground, press back into a child's pose. Just take a pause here for a moment, breathing in and breathing out. Let's come to all fours. Let's curl toes under, downward facing dog. Take a little walk to the front of the mat. Come into a forward bend. Let yourself hang here for a moment. Take a pause. The strength of the pause, the power of a pause. Bending the knees, release the hands, sweep them up to the sky. Stretch through those arms, bring the hands to your heart. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me from the front. We're going to do a very simple tree pose with the foot inside your left foot. I always say, well, we do this so often, but actually, the more you practice this, the stronger you become. Squeeze your bottom cheeks, think about, and place your hands on those hips again. So you can kind of make sure your hips are even, and then hands to heart. Squeeze your bottom cheeks, reach the arms up to the sky. Now if you find, I want to kind of try to challenge myself, you can take your right arm on the right thigh and stretch towards your right knee. It creates a little imbalance here. And then bring the right arm back up, bring your hands to your heart, and then to your hips and lower your foot down. And let's do some figure eights. This is why one of the reasons I love to do trees is because I love the counter stretches, which are the figure eights. Little dance, loosening up the hips, loosening of the shoulders. And then coming back. Now you know we have another side. Left foot on the right ankle, or up a little further, or inside your right thigh. Whoops. You always have one side that's a little bit easier. And then squeeze your bottom cheeks. Actually, take your hands on your hips, and then bring the hands to your heart, and then maybe the arms reach up. For some reason, this foot doesn't feel like it wants to stay. Very strange. And then left arm on the left thigh. This is an option. Doesn't mean you need to do this. And then stretch towards your left leg. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then gently lift that left arm up. Bring your hands to your hips again. Lower your left foot down. Open the feet wide. Figure eights. Just get into those shoulders And you're probably thinking, did she forget about the plank? Nope. I'm just looking to make sure we have the time. Let's come on to our hands and knees, and we're going to plan for the plank. You can do the straight arm plank with the hands on the ground, forearm plank, knees down, knees up, in either version. You can also take a block between the legs if you'd like. So we're going to start. I'm going to count back 3, 2, 1, and I'll tell you every 30 seconds that we're hit that 30-second mark, okay? Until we get to 2 minutes. So 3, 2, 1, go. So we're once we get into this shape, think about what we've been working on throughout this class. So there's a slight tuck of the tailbone. There's a slight drawing up of the belly muscles. So you're in this mini cow stretch, pressing the ground away, softening the shoulders down. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhaling and exhaling. We're at 30. We're actually beyond 30. I did promise you, but so you can go into trials if you'd like, or stay with me. Sometimes I miss the 30 because I'm busy trying to get you into the shape. And we're all, okay, we're at a minute. So this is where you decide, do the knees come down? Do you stay where you are? And you breathe in and out. Feel the power of the pause in your plank. The strength of your legs, the strength of your back body. We're almost at a minute and a half, almost. We're there, so 30 more seconds. If you're shaking, that's okay. That's good for the body, especially if you have a lot of stuff going on. You need to shake out some residual tension. We have only 10 seconds. It's nothing in the scheme of your day, your life. And then lower the knees to the ground. Press back into child's pose. Woo, boy, that was tough. Press back into child's pose. The power of the pause. And then gently lift yourself up. If you need to stay there a little bit longer, feel free. Otherwise, come on. Ease yourself onto your backs. Stretch through the arms, stretch through the legs. We're going to run over just a touch, which is not too bad. Just a minute or two. Let the knees drop to the left. A nice counter stretch for your plank. Turn and gaze to the right. I could still feel my body shaking. It is so interesting. Now you could hold these stretches longer than me. So feel free to kind of make this your own the rest of the class. Otherwise, bring the knees in and hug and let your knees drop over to the right. It's this, not only the muscles are shaking, it's probably there's a lot of energy being pushed through the body. Let's lift the knees back up. If you're following me, hug your knees into your chest and take your left foot to the left corner of the mat, right to the right. Let yourself settle into your Shavasana. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, melting your back into the mat, softening the shoulders down. The power of the pause. This is a pause. And when you stay for another 2 to 3 minutes, 5 minutes, and I will come up to seal the practice. So the beauty of letting your body just rest. That's it. Especially after what we just did. Lots of strength. And as I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice, I hope you enjoyed it and you feel stronger and more powerful. If you did like it, thumbs up, comment below, subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.